Hello, everybody. Ella J here on behalf of SEScoops. And today I am joined by the Reina de Reinas champion and two-time and current Impact Knockouts champion, the Virtuosa, Deonna Purrazzo. So how are you doing today? I got the two-time down this time.
Hell yeah. I'm good. How are you?
I am fantastic to be speaking with you. Before we get into everything, Bound for Glory, Impact also just recently had their all knockout special, Knockouts Knockdown, but this year wasn't your first go around in this special. So how is it reflecting on your eighth match all around overall against Brooke Tessmacher at Knockouts Knockdown 2014 to now competing as the Knockouts champion in the 2021 edition?
Honestly, it was wild. When they said they wanted to do Knockouts Knockdown, I was really excited because it was like a full circle feeling. It was like my eighth professional wrestling match ever, 2014, and then I got to wrestle Madison Rayne at a Knockouts Knockdown 2016, and now I'm the Knockouts champion. It was insane to me to kind of be on that flip side, and then get to wrestle Masha Slamovich. I was in those girls' positions. So I wanted to go out there and have a really great match, be really different, be able for both of us to stand out. I paid a little homage to my red and black gear in my red and black gear. Mm-hmm. So I was just really, really happy that they're bringing that Knockouts Knockdown back. And I was able to be a part of it as the Knockouts champion.
Of course. And you mentioned Masha Slamovich, the Russian Dynamite, who you successfully defeated in a pick your poison match where your Bound for Glory opponent, Mickie James, handpicked your poison in the form of Masha. So do you have any takeaways from this specific matchup? I know it wasn't your first time going one-on-one with her, but it was the first time in the Impact Zone.
Yeah. I think Mickie should have all the takeaways from this match. I think that, she got firsthand study material of what the Virtuosa is all about. And, she saw me snatch on the Venus de Milo, probably the most aggressive I've ever snatched it on. And my opponent had to verbally give up. So she should take away what I'm capable of and take away the glimpse of her future come Bound for Glory, where she's going to literally be the Venus de Milo statue.
Whoop, you heard it here first. Now, you're talking about the future, though, of the Impact Knockouts division as well. Masha Slamovich also recently joined Impact Wrestling. That's been announced, so that's super fun. So what are your thoughts on the addition of the Russian Dynamite in the Knockouts division?
So when they put that clip up on Twitter, I had said for 18 months now, I've wanted this division, while I'm on top, to be the most coveted around the world. I want everyone to be a part of our Knockouts division, to want to be a part of the Knockouts division, to want to be the Knockouts champion. And we need women like Masha Slamovich, who is one of the best in the world, coming up, putting the best out there and putting her best foot forward. So I'm really honored that I got to kind of be a part of that. And that it turned out she was offered a contract that was not planned or intended. It was just, that's how good she is. She earned it live in that moment. So we need women like Masha. We need women like Lady Frost. We need, these up and coming independent talent who are ready to make a name for themselves and just looking for the right company to give them an opportunity. I feel very synonymous with those girls because I was very much in that same position for a long time. And I'm really happy to see them thrive. Because in turn, it only makes our entire Knockouts division thrive. Iron sharpens iron is what I said about Masha, and I feel like that's true for so many women on the independent scene right now that could come in and have incredible matches and tell incredible stories for our Knockouts division.
Now, speaking of the independent scene, one woman who made her return to the independent scene and Knockouts Knockdown, we saw the Latina sensation Mercedes Martinez plow through this 8-woman tournament to receive a future opportunity at the Knockouts Championship. But you also just wrestled Martinez at WrestlePro this past weekend. So what are your honest thoughts on Mercedes Martinez making her return to independent wrestling and as a competitor? She's a veteran.
Yeah, she is. And she's someone that I wrestled some of my first matches against. She's someone that, obviously I get to wrestle now. So to see her kind of being in the same space that I was when I was released from NXT, just kind of being like, I want to go out there and I want to do everything that I can do. I want to work for every company that I can, and kind of make you regret it is how I felt. And to kind of see that chip on her shoulder makes me really happy, because she's more than capable. And I'd really love to see her land a spot at Impact as well, because we need those veteran presences in our locker room. And, we have quite a few women on our roster who have been with Impact for a long time and have that presence. But I think Mercedes Martinez is an entire entity of her own. There's no one quite like her. And if we're going to have the best division in the world, we need the best talent in the world. And Mercedes Martinez is definitely in that conversation for me.
And we don't know if she's going to be facing you or Mickie James for that Knockouts Championship opportunity. Officially, no. Unofficially, yes. But we'll see. We also learned, talking about this Knockouts division that just seems to keep growing and growing, we learned that a fantastic duo will be coming to Bound for Glory as well and vying for the Knockouts Tag Team Championships in their debut match in the Impact Zone. So what do you think of the IInspiration coming to Impact, and what do you think they can bring to the Knockouts division?
Yeah, I'm so excited that the IInspiration is coming, because I wasn't quite sure if they were or not. So when it was announced at the end of Knockouts Knockdown, it was like, hell yeah, like another victory for us. I'm going to say the same thing I said about Mercedes, about Cassie and Jess. I think that they are unique in their own ways, and they could be, serious and want to wrestle, but then they have this really fun, quirky, comedic side of them that I think is different and bring something different to our Knockouts division. So I'm excited to see who walks away as the Knockouts Tag Team Champions at Bound for Glory. But at the end of the day, the more talent that lands at Impact, and I think, more than them coming in, I really am enjoying the fact that Impact has become this landing zone, and people are actively seeking out Impact Wrestling to give them the opportunities they maybe feel they didn't get anywhere else. So for them to come in, and I'm really excited to see what else they can do as a tag team.
Now, talking about yourself, you have had this incredible run this last year as the 2-time Knockouts champion, and now champion for almost a year now, in your second reign at this point. But overall, you've been champ over like 350 days, probably approaching 400 days very, very shortly. Coming up, the PWI top 150 women's list, it expanded. That itself is history making, but you are recognized as number 3 on the top 150 women's list in the entire world. So what is your first initial reaction to finding this out and reflecting on your on your last year, essentially?
Yeah. When I found out, I was like, holy crap. Like, I feel like, I'm going to contradict myself, right? Okay. But I felt like, I really, really try hard not to place my personal worth on other people's opinions. And, wrestling is subjective. So there's that. But at the end of the day, to be considered, the top 3 in the world is an amazing feat. And, from where I was a couple years ago, I was higher on the list. And then in the last year, I think it was in the 30s. And now to be number 3, to jump that big of a gap is incredible. I came out day one at Impact Wrestling saying, I'm the best in the world and I'm here to prove it. And this is only validation that I am, the 3rd best in the world, but there's work to be done to be number 1. And if I've proved anything, it's that I put in the work to be the best. And I'm willing to do that little bit of extra work I need to do to be number 1 next year.
And now you talk about doing that little bit of extra work. A few months ago, you tweeted out the following: I'm ready for anyone and everyone, any competitor, any company, any generation. And that challenge has certainly been answered by wrestling legend Mickie James. So honestly, Deonna, let's be real here for a second. Do you think you're actually ready to take on Hardcore Country this Saturday at Bound for Glory?
Yes, I do. And for the simple fact that if I've tweeted any company, any competitor, any generation, well, I've wrestled people that fall in all 3 of those categories. Thunder Rosa was my opponent at Slammiversary. I've wrestled Melina. I've wrestled Jazz. So I wrestled ODB. I've consistently over the last year been everything I say I am. One of the greatest in the world, right? Such a long reign I've had, where I've taken the Impact banner across the world. I'm now an international champion. I have the Reina de Reinas championship. I'm competing at AAA consistently. So I have no questions walking into Bound for Glory if I can handle this moment and what I bring to the table consistently. Every pay-per-view, every Impact Plus special, every independent show that I wrestle on, Mickie has to ask herself if she can be hardcore country anymore, if she can, hold that standard that she's had in the past, because she's only had one single match over the last year with Kylie at NWA 73. And I watched her at that pay-per-view question herself. Can she do it? What's it going to be like out there? What's the reception going to be like? I have all of those answers. Every ball is in my court, because I've consistently been the virtuosa at the top of our knockouts division. And Mickie just hasn't. She doesn't have the current experience edge over me because she hasn't been consistently in the ring over the last year.
Keyword current, but we'll keep that in mind. I will say though that I did find it a bit ironic that you've been attacking Mickie's fashion sense on Twitter when you two were arguably wearing the same outfit in that barnyard brawl. I know she'll say differently, but
it was different. So I don't attack Mickie's choices. Mickie attacked my choices, which has been a reoccurring theme here, that Mickie attacks me. Okay. And somehow she spun all of this BS that I look like the bad guy, but I'm the innocent person in all this. I won a match at Slammiversary and she attacked me. Then she attacked me again. And all I did was give the receipt back that she keeps talking about. Receipts. All I did was give the receipt back at NWA 73. And she now took it personally. So I don't know how I've become the bad guy in all of this, but Mickie attacked my fashion choices and talked about me having Fashion Nova outfits. Mickie had the same style as me at Honor Farm, except mine was probably just a little bit more expensive.
Now, do you have any fashion tips to Mickie James then?
You know what? No, because if her bedazzled suits that she wears, and there was at one point before all of this happened that I was looking at her like, you look incredible. Wow. Before she disrespected me. I'm not gonna drop to that level and shun anyone's fashion choices. I like my cheetah print. I like my sparkles and my colors. And to each their own. Hardcore country is what it is. Maybe I'm just saying she should update the wardrobe. She wore something from 10 years ago. And if she wants to attack the Virtuosa, she better be ready for a better rebuttal.
Ooh. Well, I must say that barnyard brawl is probably one of the strangest places that I've seen physical action ensue. So where does that rank for you in terms of strange places that you've wrestled or gotten into brawls in your career, Deonna?
No, definitely number one. Definitely the strangest place. But I feel like it was a statement place, right? Like, I'm going to defend what's mine, which is Impact Wrestling and the Knockouts Championship at all costs. And I wanted that to be known, and it was when I stepped foot on Mickie's property. So definitely the most bizarre of places, the most random of places, but I think it was a statement place, and that is what I liked about it.
Definitely was. And we're talking about all things Bound for Glory, where you not only defend your Knockouts Championship, but your other half is also scheduled to be in a triple threat match for the X Division Championship. So assuming you successfully defend your Knockouts Championship at Bound for Glory and your real life other half, Steve Macklin, walks away with the X Division Championship, do you think that that makes you two the ultimate power couple?
Ooh, definitely. Absolutely. Because and I can be wrong here, so correct me if I'm wrong, but what other couples in wrestling are both holding a championship right now? It would just be us, I think.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
right? So power couple of Impact Wrestling and the wrestling world.
I will say you do have some competition if Chel wins some gold in her near future.
That's true. But I guess I would happily share that distinction with Chelsea and Matt.
Okay, we're talking about Chelsea Green and Matt Cardona for those who may not know. But talking about power couples throughout the professional wrestling history, who are some of your favorite power couples or duos throughout the history or present day of professional wrestling?
Oh, I mean, talking about Chelsea and Matt, I love everything that they're doing together. Chelsea's been managing Matt and vice versa at Impact, but they're kind of the power couple at GCW right now. And to watch Matt reinvent himself and now Chelsea gets to be a part of that is really cool for me, just because those are my best friends. But growing up, the first that came to mind was like Edge and Lita, and all of the stuff that they did. Mm-hmm. That was what I grew up on. So that's what first popped into my head as like the power couple of when I was a fan of wrestling.
Now, Impact's Bound for Glory pay-per-views coming up this Saturday, October 23rd, from the exhilarating city of Las Vegas, Nevada. So what do you think of Las Vegas as a city and the potential of this crowd at Bound for Glory?
Yeah, I've luckily been able to wrestle at Sam's Town back with Ring of Honor years and years ago. And the venue is super cool. It's in the casino. So there's potential for not wrestling fans, people who aren't wrestling fans to come and just see a show, because that's what Vegas is all about. Just the glitz and the glamour and the shows of it, wrestling falls into that category. So I think that we have the opportunity at our biggest pay-per-view of the year to turn people into Impact Wrestling fans. That's really exciting. And then, just the atmosphere. It's fun and it's inviting and it's exciting and exhilarating. And that's exactly what Impact Wrestling is. That's what Bound for Glory is going to be. So I don't think there's a better place. And then on a personal note, I'm just happy to be traveling again and back on the road finally with Impact, because I haven't been able to do that yet.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. It's been a hot minute. Now, lastly, in the spirit of Bound for Glory, I told you about this off air, but I told you what Steve said to this question. But is there a certain moment in your career that you really felt all the glory or feel the most proud of so far?
Yeah, I think when I won the Knockouts Championship at Slammiversary, I think it was a wave of emotions, because I was in a weird space personally, didn't really know what my future held when I was released, and now just a couple months after that, I'm the champion of a company. I'm carrying that women's division on my back. Was a dream come true for me. So I think that was my biggest moment. But that said, I also feel like a jerk because I didn't make it about Steve and he made it about me.
So he won some boyfriend points, but Deonna, it's okay. Sorry, Steve. She still loves you.
He's a mush. Like his character on Impact is probably more who I am in real life, where I'm not I am a big emotional sap, but it takes a lot to get it out of me. And he's a mush, and I love him so much because he is so loving to me, and he reminds me every single day of it. And he's just perfect. So he tries to draw it out of me, and it's really hard, but I'm trying to show him equally the amount of love he shows me.
You should. So it's okay. We're getting there. It's work in progress, Steve.
He knows it. It's just drawing it out, verbalizing to him, because he is emotional, and he is in touch with it. And it's I love it so much. That's probably my favorite part about him, is he can express himself. So, yeah.
Of course. And before I let you go, Deonna, can you please tell the listeners where they can watch Bound for Glory and where they can find you on all your social medias?
Yeah, everyone can watch A Bound for Glory on fight.tv, October 23rd. I think the special start time on the East Coast is 10 p.m.
It is.
And then everyone can follow me at Deonna Purrazzo on Twitter and Instagram.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today again, Deonna. It's been an absolute pleasure.
It's so nice to talk to you.
And don't forget to tune into Bound for Glory this Saturday, October 23rd at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific on Fight TV, where Deonna defends her Knockouts Championship against wrestling legend Mickie James. And again, Deonna, thank you so much.
Thanks so much.